Hello and welcome to my podcast. My name is Nicole and I'm the brains and the beauty behind Yarn Craft by Nicole. And on today's yarn chat, I've got some great things to show you. I have one finished object and some major progress on another whip. Today I've got on my Amelie sweater, I think is how you say it. It's A-M-E-L-I-E from LaRue Crochet. She's got a knit version and a crochet version, and this is the crochet version. I love it. I used Wonderland yarns for this. I want to make sure I had a garment on to show y'all since I haven't worn a garment on here in a little while. But I absolutely love it. It's got some short row shaping around the neck, and it's written as a solid colored sweater, but I just striped in these two colors, and there's also some sleeve decreases written in the pattern that I did not do. So I have these really dramatic wide sleeves. I like the way it looks. Sometimes I wish I had done at least a smaller ribbing on this sleeve, but I wear it all the time. It's super cozy. I don't typically make the same pattern more than once for myself, but I would totally make this one again and change a couple of things, like maybe do a short sleeve version. I don't know, but it's a lovely cozy sweater, and I have not worn it yet this winter. I actually made it a couple of years ago around this time, so it was nice to pull it out today. And then I also have on the mannequin today a shawl that I made that I did not write a pattern for. It's this crescent shaped shawl because I bought this yarn. It's a knitted wit National Parks colorway. I think it's called the Great Smoky Mountains, but I bought it on an anniversary trip, our first anniversary, and today is actually me and my husband's 4th anniversary, so I wanted to pull this out. It was the first time I had made a crescent shawl, and I just had fun with it and kind of made it up as I went. It's got these cute baubles in a couple of places, and then I think the other two yarns that I used were Fiber Spates stock weight yarns, but I really like it. It makes me happy to think about that trip and how different things were 3 years ago for our first anniversary and how different things were 4 years ago. But yeah, so today let's start with why there was no podcast last week. I have decided that it will make sense for the foreseeable future to podcast once every 2 weeks instead of once every week. I'm just not working on things quickly enough to have much progress or much to talk about every single week. And I'm also not acquiring yarn at this point that often. That is to say, generally, I do have some yarn to show you today, and then the next time I podcast, it'll seem like I have a lot of yarn to show you. But generally I will not. So I'm going to podcast once every 2 weeks. And then I was thinking through March, when my husband and I are going to be traveling, my husband and daughter and Scoot and I will all be traveling in March for most of the month, the first 3 weeks. And I do think that I can podcast once while we're traveling. So I'll still try to podcast every 2 weeks and just do one on the road. So yeah, that'll be the new format going forward, just once every 2 weeks instead of every week. Just not making as much as I usually do, which is fine. I'm doing a lot of other things that are very important. But that is to say, I do have a finished object this week, and it's super cute. And it is a baby blanket. So I finished the Chiefs baby blanket. Let's see, today's Friday. I think I finished this Tuesday. We had a really snowy day on Tuesday, and I really like the way that it came out. Do not have a pattern currently written for this, but I am probably going to do something similar, maybe with stripes at both the top and the bottom. But really like the way this came out. It's all Tunisian simple stitch. Got some Tunisian two-tones there, and then the border is a slight ribbing with front post and back post double crochets. But I really like the drape of this. It hasn't been like steam blocked or washed yet, but I will before I gift it. But I really like the way it came out, and I can't wait to work on the next baby blanket for friends of ours. I did this in Chiefs colors because the family that this is going to, the mom is a big Chiefs fan, and I think she'll really like it. So yeah, finished that and feels good. The red is Pound of Love from Lion Brand, and then I think the white is Big Twist yarns and just the white color, and then the gold is Yarn Bee Simply Soft, I think, or Soft and Sleek, something I had in stash, and I felt like the colors were really great for the Chiefs. Okay, so, and I did not finish this during the Super Bowl. I thought about it, but I did not finish it during the Super Bowl. My sister and her fiance came over for the game, and I actually did get more crocheting done than I would have generally during a football game because we had other people to hold the baby. But I was actually mostly working on the sweater that I'm going to show you next. But I think I finished this while I was holding MJ during our snowy day this past week. So yes, speaking of the sweater, that is my next whip. And I've got a lot of it done. I think the last time I showed you, I had it seamed, the front and the back, and maybe I had the collar done. But now I have, let me show you the front. It's always so hard to figure out the front and back. I think this is the front. So the last time I showed you, and now you can kind of see all the colors. I had the front done. I now have one whole sleeve, and I am almost done with the second sleeve. The way that I'm doing the stitch markers is that once I do 5 rows, I move it from the done side to the not done side. So I'm almost where I can put the last stitch marker in over here, and then I have 6 more rows after that, and then the ribbing. So, because the last row is a rapid decrease row. This is the Canyon Crewneck from Bah Humble. It is currently in testing, but the testers, a lot of us are finishing them up, and they look great. I love it. I love this yarn. I love that I chose a dark color. I think it's going to be very, very wearable. Ooh, I'm getting crazy blown out now because the camera was adjusting to the yarn, but this is Winter Glow by Hobie. And they actually have Winter Glow Solid, which I bought for another project, and I'm excited to work with that. I did have one significant knot last night, and this yarn does tend to stick to itself, but other than that, I don't really have any complaints. Clearly I would use it again because I just bought it for another project. It's very soft. It's in half and half, or it's I think it's 51% wool, 49% acrylic, something like that. But it works up really well, and I really like the drape that the sweater is giving me. With such a high acrylic content, I don't think it's going to stretch a whole lot, and because this is worked side to side in panels, most of the stretch from the wear is actually going to be vertically, which I think is going to be very, very flattering. And it's a pretty thin worsted weight yarn, and the gauge is pretty drapey and loose, so I'm a big fan. I'm excited about this. The sleeve fits awesome, and I really like the neckline. I was thinking that I was going to have to do more decreases in the neckline to have it laid properly, but I didn't. I just did it as written in the pattern. It came out great. I also was afraid that the panel was going to be too wide, and it is written with a lot of positive ease, but with all the finishing details, and because it's not a dense fabric that you're creating with this gauge, it's very, very wearable. Stacy has done a great job with this pattern. So hoping to finish this up. I've got some car time this week, this weekend, and I definitely will finish the sleeve in the car and probably get started on the bottom ribbing. Then I'll be done. So very excited about that. Really enjoying that process. And the Winter Glow from Hobie the variegated version, what I'm using for this, are big 200-gram cakes, and it is taking me 2 of those cakes to make an entire sweater, which was, I think they were about 20 bucks a cake, so 40 bucks for a sweater that has like a lot of wool in it. Pretty good deal. For whatever reason, the Winter Glow solids are only in 100 cakes, or 100-gram cakes. So I bought several of those for another project. So yeah, the other thing that I started on, I actually got working on this today, and I don't remember where I put it, is with my Terrapin Fiberworks cotton yarn. So give me just a second. I think I put it on the bed. And so I did. So this is the Steep Club. There goes my hook. From Terrapin Fiberworks. She is doing a yarn and tea monthly subscription club, and it's been so fun already. This is the January colorway. I'll show it to you in the cake. I got mine on a DK weight. It's 100% organic cotton. It's for Chesapeake DK weight, and this first colorway was called Cuppa, and it was inspired by the blue and white china that you see a lot. Very classic. And after much debate and much searching online, I picked a granny square pattern that I'm going to use, and it's called the Happily Ever After Square. Show it to you here. This is not blocked or anything, but it's a pretty cotton yarn, so yeah, there you go. This is from Crochet 365 Knit 2, and 2 is spelled T-O-O. I'll put it in the description below. I found it on Pinterest, and there was a free version of the pattern for just the square with ads on her blog, or you could buy the PDF. And I think this was part of a several squares that she designed, but this is the one that I liked the best. She also shows it to you in I think 3 or 4 color version. But my plan is to do squares with the yarn. I think, I haven't weighed this first one, but I think I can get 3 squares per skein. Just do them all the same. And then at the end of the year, after I have done all 12 months of this club, I will seam it together and have a really pretty blanket. So I really like it. Terrapin Fiberworks is awesome. I love her colors. The February color, I think, has started to ship. I haven't gotten a notification that mine is shipped yet, but it's this gorgeous like rose and pistachio green, and I cannot wait for that. The tea has been really good. The first month was I think it was an English breakfast tea, and I had some this morning while I was working on my square, and it's just so cozy. So I'm really enjoying this. Like I said, I think I can get 3 squares per skein, and maybe still have a little bit left over, but I really like it, and I think it's super cute. Love it. And then that is it for whips. So now I'm going to show you some yarn love. This I think I've showed before, but because we know so many, or we have friends that are having babies this year. I think we have 5 or 6 couples that we know that are having babies, and I started with yarn that would work for them, but I already had it in my stash and it wasn't designated for anything. So the next one that I'm going to make is using KC, I think it's K&C Essential Cotton from Joann's. The top one is probably going to be crazy blown out, but I've got 6 skeins total of this, 3 of the cream, and that is the name of the color, and then 3 of the Joshua Tree color. So my plan is to do another Tunisian baby blanket and to just do chevron stripes with this. I might use the whole skein to do one stripe and alternate it. Or more likely I'll probably do thicker stripes of the cream, thinner stripes of the Joshua Tree, and just have some of this left over when I'm done. But yeah, this is a DK weight, I think it's a DK. Yes, it's a DK weight, cotton, 100% cotton. It's super soft. I used this for the copycat sweater that I made last year, and it's just a dream to work with. They have a lot of good colors. It can be kind of hard to find at Joann's, but I really like these, and like I said, I already had it in my stash. I think I was thinking I would make another garment for myself and was just stocking up on it, but since I don't have any for real plans for that, it'll be super cute in a baby blanket, and I think the chevrons will be really sweet. We are seeing 2 of the couples that are having babies this year on our great adventure next month in March. So I finished the Kansas City one, so that one's done, and then this is the other baby blanket that I will need to have done while we are on the road. But I don't think that will be an issue. 1, because I will get a lot of time to crochet in the car, and 2, I will also have a little bit more time while we are staying with family in the evenings to crochet, because other people want to hang out with Melody. So yes, the other thing, speaking of Melody, is the last bit of yarn that I have bought that has arrived. I might have gone down a rabbit hole late night when I was pumping or snuggling with her, thinking through a temperature blanket for Melody. So I wanted to do one for her first year. A temperature blanket that I'll start, and then it'll be finished by her birthday in December. And I looked at a lot of different yarns. I wanted to do something in a DK weight yarn or smaller, ideally a cotton blend, and that had some soft colors but didn't read like super pale or neutral. So I meant to look up how to pronounce this. I believe it's Sheepjes. It might be Sheepjes yarn. I'm sure you can let me know in the comments below. I feel like anybody who is new to this yarn brand messes it up the first time that they say it. But they're stone washed, and I got it in just the traditional stone wash, which is a sport weight yarn, and it is a cotton, 78% cotton, 22% acrylic blend. And I got 10 colors. So all of the colors that I got a light version and a dark version. So these are the pinks. I also got a light and the dark of greens, a light and a dark of purples, which I think are really pretty, a light and a dark of like a gray and a cream, and then my personal favorite, the light and the dark of the blues. So this is my palette. We'll see if I can hold them all up at the same time. It will be a feat if I can. And I was waffling between a couple of different, there you go, you can kind of see it, a couple of different types of patterns for baby blankets. Oh, that's going to be so pretty. I'm so happy. There was also a yellow that I really liked, but I didn't like the lighter version of it, so I ended up nixing the yellow. For the one that I did for us in 2021, I did not do a gauge swatch. I basically made lots of mistakes that you make when you are doing a temperature blanket for the first time and you are winging it and not using a pattern, and it was huge. And I love our temperature blanket and we use it all the time, but I did not want to make those mistakes again with hers because I didn't want it to be huge. So I knew that I wanted to use a smaller yarn, and I wanted to think through the stitches better, because the one that we made, or the one that I made for us, is a worsted weight blanket, and it uses half double crochet for each row with like a J hook. So it's just huge. It's a very long blanket. It's dramatic and cozy, and Scoot thinks that it all belongs to him, but it's very, very large. So for this one, I think I'm going to be using the linen stitch for this blanket. I thought about doing linen stitch squares. TL Yarn Crafts has a really pretty pattern for that. But since I'm not starting and ending the temperature blanket in a month, where each month would be a square, since I'm starting it on her birthday and ending it on her birthday, and her birthday is in the middle of the month, I think I'm just going to do rows. And I thought also about doing Tunisian, and that would be really pretty. But part of the reason why I don't want to do Tunisian is I don't have that many Tunisian hooks, and I don't want one that is tied up in one project all year because I will probably need it for other things. And the linen stitch will just look really pretty. It'll look the same on both sides. That's why I use the half double crochet in our giant one. So it would look the same on both sides, and it'll be really pretty how one color mixes in with the next. So I'm excited about that. I might start that on a road trip. Who knows when I will start that. And I haven't even made the chart for which colors are, which I will probably, yeah, it'll probably be like the pinks and the greens will probably be what is in the middle colors. I really want that deep dark blue to be the top and the bottom of the quilt, or the top and the bottom of the blanket. I think that's the one I want for the colors that we're going to use most in December. My birthday is also in December, so I want to use my favorite colors that month. But I think that just about wraps this up for this week. So I will see you in 2 weeks, and I will leave you with what I can't let go. What I can't let go of is that it's been 4 years since I've gotten married, which is wild. It both seems like I have been married for 10 years, and like that was not that long ago at all. So I am so grateful for these past 4 years with my husband. We have had lots of adventures along the way. We got married when he was stationed in Tennessee. We've done Michigan since then, grad school. I've gone from teaching full-time to long-term subbing to now stay-at-home mom and crochet designer, and it's just been a wild 4 years. And of course now this past year we added our daughter to the family, which was perfect, and I'm so excited to see what adventures come next. And with that, I will see you in 2 weeks. Bye guys.